The bulls fumble away the CPI setup. Can they rebound on PPI? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so in yesterday's video, we talked about the fact that the bulls had a setup on both the NASDAQ and the ES to push higher for the CPI catalyst. However, they fumbled that away, and the bears were able to push it down into key support. Now, the question is, can the bulls rebound during PPI? I'll get into that in just 1 second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, before we jump into the charts, a few different things. One, I did the live call today for the public. I put it in the notes yesterday that you could sign up for that call. We had a bunch of people join. It was awesome. If you didn't see it, I did post it on my YouTube channel, so you can check that out, called Live Video Replay. Also, we're running a mega sale where I'm giving up to $80 off of some of my courses. It is an awesome deal. It is only until Sunday, so you need to take advantage. If you want to do that, stay tuned for later in the video. And as always, we are doing well in our rooms. 2 day trades that crushed it today. You can see on the screen our first one there where we got our stop out just 7 minutes later at about a 60-cent profit. And PT is absolutely crushing it, as always. 13 points last week for just sitting around twiddling their thumbs. So awesome things going on in our room. We would love to have you in there and check it out. You're missing out. We got a free trial. Stay tuned for later in the video. Now let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, so here we are on the 1 hour futures chart for the S&P 500. And with the breakdown today that broke last week's low, that is a little bit of an early warning sign for the bulls, but they do still have some runway down here. I'll explain why that's a little bit of a problem here in just a minute. But we could see the bulls on the ES chart have an A, B, and this be a deeper C in place for wave 4 to still be active above the blue box, and then look for an ABC higher for the bulls. This would be a valid pattern and a push higher in that 5th wave that we've talked about. But it is starting to get deep and wide from the channel, and you would not expect that much depth and that much kind of width. Getting throw under below the trend line is not a big deal, but generally that should come back and break through the trend line pretty quickly, which is what you would have expected on this B wave high as continuation, which is why we had that set up for yesterday. But the overall pattern is still valid. It's just not something you really like to see. Another reason that I would be worried about this wave 4 playing out if they do come down here is the NASDAQ. If you remember back when we were coming down in September and October of last year, I said that if you were bearish, the NASDAQ was a problem. I said it almost every video because the NASDAQ did not break down like ES did and actually had a bullish structure in place ready to go higher. And so when we started to break down, I said the NASDAQ was the problem. You have that same problem now, only it's the inverse. If you are bullish right now and think that the market is going to go back to all-time highs, the NASDAQ is a little bit of a problem. They must hold the support that they held today. And if they break down through that blue box, that becomes problematic for the ES. The reason would be if ES is going to continue this pattern to the downside into the 51, 50, 40 area, wherever they're going to come down to, this would likely break through the blue box on the NASDAQ. And that would likely indicate that the NASDAQ has made at least an intermediate top where we're seeing a much bigger pullback in place. If that's the case, it's not impossible for ES to come back up and make a high. Generally, the NASDAQ tops first, and then the ES tops after the NASDAQ, and NASDAQ fails to make a new high. That happens in most cases, or has happened in the last few highs anyway, major highs. But it becomes something that's a little bit tougher to see happening when we're getting so deep and wide on this pattern and NASDAQ is breaking down and they're seeing the cracks in the armor that we're seeing on the ES below some moving averages that hasn't been below since October. This is starting to become a little bit of an issue. So if you're bullish, know that the bulls are kind of on their backs are a little bit against the wall here. They need to hold support. They need to drive up out of here tomorrow. Whether they can come a little bit lower, they can come down to 51.43, and ultimately the blue box. I don't think it's a very great pattern if they come down to the blue box, but ultimately 51.43 is where you'd want to see them kind of turn this back up and start to make an ABC back to the highs from there. So the bulls, that would be their path. The bears just want to continue in one way or the other. Those 2 ways would be we're in A, B, and we're in C down, and this C can absolutely continue and extend. We are coming off of a diagonal, and you can very much see straight down selling in those cases. If they can continue to break support, There is a lot, as I said, there's a lot of support down through here. There's the 50-day moving average in this area. There is a weekly moving average, I think, right in this area, right around the blue box. There's the blue box. This is all support through here. If they grind through this, they can absolutely accelerate and continue straight in a bigger C wave that extends. But if they just come down in a standard C wave, they can also bounce it up in a B and then start a bigger C wave. And what that means is from the top, this would be A, B, C for an A leg down. So this whole move would be A, and this would be the B leg, and then a bigger C wave down that would take us off the screen here a little lower, a lot lower actually, but lower than this. And then, you know, that would be the start of filling out a much, much bigger pattern on the ES that would be corrective and start a bigger breakdown. So bears want to continue in one of two ways: a direct sell-off where PPI, you know, is kind of like CPI and they just kind of follow through to the downside. Again, with so much support through here, I'm not sure exactly that that's going to happen. Might get one stab down and then a bounce. But failing to do that, they want to hold under yesterday's high up here at about 52.85 and then push down in a bigger C wave. So still some work to be done for the bears, but they are putting cracks in the foundation. They are starting to show weakness. I go over why topping processes take so long on that live call. It's a great video. You should check it out. Over on the NASDAQ, they were unable to make a new low here. They held it by a couple of points, and that makes things really ugly on the NASDAQ. So our bullish count was that we completed wave 4 down here, and you had A and B in place, and you were looking for this to be one of C, which would have been perfect with the pullback we had, and then a breakout yesterday would have been starting up in 5, but they failed. And so now this one of C has a ton of overlap in it and is really ugly and really would count best as an ABC pattern instead of a wave 1 of C. And then this looks more like a C wave down that would come down and break this low and break down below the blue box. So can they thread the needle here? Can they come back down just below here but above this wave 4? Sure, that's possible. I think it's highly unlikely. Can they come lower than this wave 4 and continue higher? Yes, but the issue is your wave 4 becomes too drawn out, too deep, and too wide, and it's very unlikely that's going to play out in a diagonal where it's just getting too wide and deep from the channel. So yes, is it possible they can come a little deeper and make a wave 4 down here and go higher? Sure, that's possible. Do I think it's likely? I do not. I do not think that's likely. And so what we'd be looking for overall is for either this to be a leading diagonal, which would be really ugly, and the bulls to hold and then kind of push up in 3, 4, and 5, which I don't love at all. I think that's a highly unlikely scenario. Or we're looking for a breakdown here in either a 4 or 5 that breaks the blue box, or a complete breakdown as NASDAQ can accelerate down into this low. And I do think that if we break down through the blue box, we will test this low pretty quickly in the 17,600 area. And that would be the more likely outcome should they start to break down below this blue box. I don't think that even if they can hold a support in here and get a bounce and then break down like that, I don't think that we're going to be able to hold below the blue box and come back to the all-time highs. So at least not initially. We'll need a much bigger pullback before that happens and a bigger pattern. So the NASDAQ is in a tough spot. This is why I said if you're bullish on the ES, the NASDAQ is a little bit of a problem because it's starting to look more bearish. Still hasn't broken completely down through the blue box, but once it does, that would be a strong indication that we at least have an intermediate top in place, and they're starting down on this side to test this low first, likely this low, and we'll see if they're going to do that directly because we're selling off of a diagonal, or if they're going to give us kind of one of these looks like this and before they come down. So NASDAQ is looking much more bearish than ES. As I said, it does have a downside. As I said, it does have a squeeze ready to fire. If that squeeze fires to the downside, I think you will see very rapid selling, breaking support pretty quickly. Conversely, if they can rally here and get that squeeze to fire to the upside, then we could see them break out and finish the pattern to the upside that we were looking for. But again, the momentum on the daily, the momentum on the weekly, everything is trending to the downside. So it's a much higher likelihood that the squeeze fires to the downside. Guys, if you love the information I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link. It'll take you right over to the webpage. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible monthly plans, and they both come with a 7-day free trial because I want you to get in there. I want you to make sure you love it and become part of our trading team before you ever spend a penny. You can cancel at any time. You literally have nothing to lose by coming and checking us out. We also have our educational material, our advanced Elliott Wave and our Elliott Wave 4 beginners course. I'm running a huge sale on all of these products. We just launched our Elliott Wave Advanced course this week, and because of that, I'm giving everybody $80 off of this with the coupon AEW2024. That makes this course $67. You will not see that price on this course again. I'm also giving $30 off of the beginner's course, which makes it $37 with the coupon code BEGINNER. And this is the best deal of all, guys. I'm giving $80 off the bundle if you don't have either course. So you can get both courses for $97, meaning if you paid full price for this course, you would get the advanced course for $30, which is a steal for what you're getting in both of these courses. This code over here for the bundle, it is EW Bundle. Now, the cool thing we'll talk about later is you get these for free by joining my monthly rooms. So if you want to try out the monthly rooms, you can use the code SPRING15 to get 15% off of the monthly membership, and that does last for the entirety of your membership. So you get 15% off of these prices as long as you stay a member. Now, if you do want to sign up for one of those courses, I want to show you how to use the coupon because it is a little bit tough. If you get the course for whichever one or join today, whatever you want, just hit the button down here. It will take you over to the sign up screen. Once you're on the sign up screen, scroll down, put in all your information. When you get toward the bottom, it'll say have a coupon right under the password confirmation area. Hit the have a coupon button and type in the coupon there. So in this case, it's going to be AEW2024. Hit enter. It'll say coupon code applied successfully. Scroll to the top, and you can see the price is now $67 with the coupon code added. Once you do all that, fill it out, whether you want to pay with your PayPal or credit card, that's up to you, and hit sign up. You'll enter those details on the next screen. So don't look for where, if you click this, it's not going to ask you to put in your credit card. Just hit sign up, and at that point, you'll put in your credit card and all that information. So that's how you put in the coupon. Guys, this expires on Sunday, so you only got a few days left to grab these prices. You won't see them again, I promise you. Now, for the advanced course, what exactly do you get in that? Well, you get all of the complex patterns that the market gives us, the advanced fib levels, diagonals, double and triple threes, flats, triangles, everything that you can look at and say, I don't know what the market's doing. There's lots of overlap. It's very ugly. This helps you break all that down so you can understand how the market works in these complex patterns. This one is contracting ending diagonals. I draw them out and show you how to do them without the chart. We go through the different fib levels so you understand all of that, where they occur, how they occur. You can see the fibs over here. And as you go further on, then we move into the chart and we look at real examples on the chart so that you can see exactly how they look on the chart, how to chart them, what to expect, how to trade them, all the different things that you need to do with these complex structures that allow you to understand how the market works in a more simplistic way. You can see on the screen that our traders are loving this course. It is absolutely helping them in these tough markets, especially like we're in right now where it's diagonals all over the place and corrective structures. They're very difficult to figure out, and it's helping them make money. Now, if this is too advanced for you or you're just getting started with Elliott Wave, we also have our Elliott Wave for Beginners online course. This course is helping real traders make real money and finally understand the market in a way that makes sense. It can be very difficult when good news makes the market go down and bad news makes the market go up, because it doesn't make any sense. Elliott knew this a long time ago and knew that the news cycles were garbage, and what really mattered was key levels. He knew what happened when those key levels held, and he knew what happened when those key levels broke. This gives you a huge advantage over the rest of the market. This course is 25 videos where I go over your introduction to Elliott Wave, your expectation, your mindset, the theory, how it works, why it works, the chart setup and tools, every tool that I use with Elliott Wave and that you need to use, how to use it and why we use it, as well as the Elliott Wave for Beginners area, where I go through each of the waves, how they work, how to measure them, what their failure points are, theory of alternation, corrective depth theory, everything you need to know to make sense of an irrational market. Now, the cool thing, guys, about both of these courses, I mentioned it earlier, the advanced course and the beginner's course are free when you become a monthly member, so you don't even have to pay for them. You just become a monthly member, and those courses are part of that membership. In the first room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions answered, a midday video. I just posted yesterday's live video on YouTube. Check that out. I answer everybody's questions. It's 45 minutes. We go through internals. We go through squeezes. We go through 100 different things on there. It's a 45-minute call, answering questions, going through everything. That call alone, to me, is worth the price of admission. You also get the training material you just saw. So on top of that call, you get the beginner's course and the advanced Elliott Wave course included in your membership. We trade the SPY and the QQQ. And we swing and day trade, which we killed today. So we do trade quite often in my room. But if you're looking for futures trading, if you're looking for income trading, if you're looking for individual stocks, or you're looking for advanced training, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as individual stocks, futures trading, his income trading method that I've shown you now this week, first week of the month, this month, all of last month. He's absolutely crushing it with that. They sit around and just collect money. It's amazing. You got to check it out. And he does his reduced risk binary method that absolutely crushes the market. He gets you in at a cheap price and gets you big multiples on your money. How he structures that trade is so unique. It's something you have to see to understand. It's another reason we give you that 7-day free trial. He also started a challenge account where he put $4,000 into an account, trading mini ES futures, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, I don't know what you're waiting for, but come check it out. We would love to have you in these rooms so we can all make money together. Key takeaways for today. Can the bulls rebound on PPI? Can they start to push this market back up? Or do the bears break down below yesterday's low and start the push down toward the 5140 area and the blue box and see if the bulls can hold from there? If the bulls can hold, they'd be looking for an ABC back higher in wave 5 toward the 5360 to 5400 area, but they're running out of time and space to the downside, especially given the NASDAQ. Over on the NASDAQ, can they hold the blue box? They dipped their toe in it yesterday. If they break below that and they can thread the needle and make a slightly lower low, they can build a bullish pattern to the upside. However, a break below that blue box would be a strong warning to the bulls that we have a potential intermediate top in place on the NASDAQ, and we are looking much lower. Guys, that is your market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.